This is TWiT.
Okay, so I have to stop thinking of social media necessarily as a community.
Right, and this is one of the tricky things. And again, one of the reasons why I wrote People Powered is the word community means a million things to a million people, right?
Yeah.
Like I break it down into three models. I think of consumers, people who get together because they share a passion, they share an interest.
Apple fans are
Apple fans are a good example. I think the TWiT audience would be a good example
Absolutely,
of that.
yeah.
But really they're fans and they enjoy being with each other and they share that interest and they discuss it, but they don't necessarily influence the thing that brings them together as much. Like Star Trek fans don't tend to influence the show,
Right.
but they're super passionate about the show.
Right.
The second type I think of are champions. So these are the people who get together because of something, but they want to do something to help. They write documentation, they make YouTube videos, they advocate, they run meetups.
That's what happens in an open source community,
Right.
because they need volunteers so badly.
Right.
If you care about open source, you're going to contribute.
You're going to do something in some form, probably.
Yeah.
But then the third type is collaborators, and those are people who get together to work on the same thing. And this is like a typical open source project. It would be people collaborating on the code itself. But that subdivides into two areas, particularly in tech, because in tech you get inner collaborator communities where people work on the same thing, like they're contributing to the shared open source project. Or they build something on top. So, for example, they build an Android app or they build an Apple app or whatever it might be.
Or a library.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the way in which you build a community for the outer people who build on top of something is very different, because typically those developers, they don't really care as much about being involved in the platform itself. Like most Android app developers, they don't really care so much how Android is put together. They have an opinion,
Right.
but they don't feel like they should be involved. But what they do care about is a great developer on-ramp, great documentation, great SDK.
The interface to them.
But the people on the inner side, inside of an open source project, they feel like they're members of the team.
Right.
So if they are treated differently, if they have those people in the company, the stakeholder company, they're treated completely different, and the community members don't get the same level of information, or they don't have the similar kind of experience, you're going to frustrate a lot of people. So there's huge nuances even just within that model. So.